What's going on, Rebirth family? I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, my name is Ryan Allen. I'm super excited to be here with you today. Listen, we are in day 17 of our devotionals, and they've been pretty good. And I pray that this holiday season that the Word of God has encouraged you. Listen, we still have 13 days for God to do miracles, and I'm really excited to see how He makes up things in your life in these next 13 to 14 days. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. So, speaking on that, let's chop it up a little bit about the verse, one of the verses that we see here today. If you read the devotional today, you'll see that we were talking a little bit about Mary and God doing the impossible. And I think it's so important for this, even in these next 13 days, we can look at our situation and say, God, how in the world are you going to do this? But we can look at our God as an impossible God. If we look at Luke chapter 1, verse 37, it says this: for nothing will be impossible with God. I know that a lot of times when we get words from God, when we get prophecies from God, when we have these things that God has told us, a lot of times we want to back down from what God has told us because we look at the situation that is around us, not understanding the God that we serve. And the God that we serve is not a liar. And a lot of times I think it is important for us to understand exactly what we see in Luke, in that God is the God of the impossible. The verse speaks for itself. The devotional today spoke for itself, that God is the God of the impossible. And so what I want to just remind you today is that you have a God that is the God of the impossible. I know your situation looks impossible, but He's the God of the impossible. I know your situation looks like, man, what can be created out of this? But you serve the Creator. I know your situation is looking pretty dim, but He's the God that brings light into situations. So I just want to remind you today, remember, you serve the God of the impossible. And you got 13 to 14 more days for God to do miracles in your life. Press in. Go in hard with Jesus. Believe Jesus with all of your heart. We already know what Proverbs 3:6 says. But we got to trust in the Lord with all of our heart and lean not on our own understanding. And in all our ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct our prayers. My friends, trust in the Lord, and remember, nothing is impossible with God, which means that by yourself, you can't do this. But with God, all things are possible. So my simple reminder for you today, just like Mary had a gift and a gift and a purpose that God had given her that was impossible for her, but it was possible with God. Just like Peter, it was impossible for Peter to walk on water, but with God it was possible. Just like in your own situation and in your own life, if you look at your own story, it was impossible. It was impossible if you were just carrying it. But because you weren't just carrying it, and it was God, God did the impossible. And just like He did the impossible back then, He'll do the impossible again this time. And so 13 more days. Don't look to 2024. God is still in 2023. And I believe that He still wants to do the impossible in and through you. So my friends, remember that our God is awesome. No matter what suffering, no matter what you're going through, remember that He's the God of the impossible. Love you, family. I'll see you soon. Peace.